Hey guys, I made a crocheted checkered pouch. I used a 9-inch zipper, cotton yarn, and a G crochet hook. It was difficult to see the stitches with black yarn, so I made a mini example using red heart acrylic yarn. Place the yarn over the hook with the end facing forward. Bring the end of the yarn to the back, wrapping around the longer end. Then bring the longer end over to the front of the hook and pull it through the loop created. This is a slip knot. Bring the longer end over to the front again and pull it through the loop created. This is the first chain stitch. I made 44 chain stitches for the pouch. The amount of chain stitches should be a multiple of 4. So there were 2 chain stitches on the left and right side of my zipper. This example had 16 chain stitches. Add 2 chain stitches to start the row. In the third chain stitch from the end, make a double crochet stitch. To do this, yarn over, go through the chain stitch, yarn over again, and pull it through the loop. Yarn over, pull it through 2 loops, yarn over again, and pull it through both loops. That's the first double crochet. Go through the next stitch and continue making double crochets. For the fourth double crochet, yarn over, go through the chain stitch, yarn over again, and pull it through the loop. Yarn over and pull it through 2 loops. Then switch to the other color. Yarn over and pull it through both loops to complete the double crochet. Pretend that these strands are part of this row and make 4 double crochets. Before finishing the 4th double crochet, tug the other strands so that the color doesn't show in the back. Switch back to the previous color. Yarn over and pull it through both loops to complete the double crochet. Repeat this with the rest of the row. When there's just a little piece of yarn left, ignore it and cut it off later. At the end of the row, don't switch the yarn. Make another row of the same colors to form squares. Make 1 chain stitch to start the next row and turn it over. Go through both of these loops when making your double crochets. Pretend that this yarn is part of the row and continue the pattern. Switch the color before finishing the last double crochet of the row. Make 1 chain stitch to start the next row. Pretend that this yarn is part of the row and continue the pattern. 2 rows form 1 square. I made 17 square rows for the pouch. When you reach the end of your last row, make 1 chain stitch and pull the end of the yarn through the loop. Decide which side you want as the front of the pouch. Next, I made a row of single crochets. To do this, go through the chain stitch, yarn over, and pull it through the loop. Yarn over again and pull it through both loops. Repeat this with the rest of the row. Make 1 chain stitch and pull the end of the yarn through the loop. Then I turned the piece upside down and made a row of single crochets. But instead of going through the loops at the top, I went between each double crochet. Make 1 chain stitch and pull the end of the yarn through the loop. The back had this bump, but the front looks like this. With a tapestry needle, I weave the ends a few times and cut the extra yarn. This will be the inside of the pouch, and this will be the outside. I thought it'd be faster to use a sewing machine to add a zipper, but my stitches weren't straight. So I removed the thread using a seam ripper and hand sewed it instead. Next, I turned it inside out. I counted 2 double crochets from the sides and sewed it. I decided to sew the corners and made sure that the squares lined up. Then I turned it inside out. And here's how it turned out.